three primary regions of the brain. Our brain consists of three main regions. The first one is forebrain, then midbrain and hindbrain. Now going to start with their explanation. The first is forebrain. Beta, forebrain, it is the largest part of the brain made up of cerebrum, then diencephalon. Diencephalon is further divided into two parts. The first is thalamus and second is just below it hypothalamus. So these three parts together form largest part of our brain, that is forebrain. Cerebrum, thalamus and hypothalamus. Now already you have done that cerebrum, which is made up of two cerebral hemispheres, is a seat of intelligence, memory, consciousness and our willpower. It also controls all voluntary activities of the body. Now the diencephalon, which is further divided into thalamus and hypothalamus. Now thalamus is responsible for relaying sensory information from the sense organs. It is also responsible for transmitting motor information for movement and coordination. So, after thalamus, just below the thalamus, another part of the brain is present, that is hypothalamus. Very important part. Just from the base of the hypothalamus, the master gland, pituitary gland, is also hanged. Now, this hypothalamus, it serves many functions in our body. It regulates our body temperature. It also controls our mood and emotions. It synthesizes body's essential hormones. It also controls all the activities or all the secretions of pituitary gland, that is master gland. Now after that, the next part of the brain is just below the hypothalamus, and that part of the brain is called as midbrain. So the midbrain, that is after hypothalamus, this midbrain is present. Midbrain is a very small tubular part which control reflexes involving eyes and ear. It also connects forebrain to the hindbrain. Now after the midbrain, the last region of the brain, that is hindbrain. Now hindbrain, it is made up of three parts. Again hindbrain, it consists of three parts. The first is cerebellum, second is pons and the third medulla oblongata. Starting with cerebellum. Cerebellum is the smallest part of the brain which control and coordinate all the muscular activities of our body. It helps in balancing of our body. Next is pons. But a pons, it is located in the center of the brain below the cerebellum. It carries impulses from one hemisphere of the cerebellum to the another hemisphere of cerebellum. And in this way, it coordinates muscular movement on both the sides of the body. After pons, the next and the last part of the brain, that is medulla oblongata. Medulla oblongata, it controls all the involuntary activities of our body, that is the activities of our internal organs like heartbeat, respiration, that is breathing. It is controlled by medulla oblongata. So hope everything is clear to you. Next, we are going to start with spinal cord. The spinal cord. The spinal cord is also a part of our central nervous system. It is a long pipe-like structure arising from the medulla oblongata, running through the vertebral column to end at the second lumbar vertebra, within the neural canal of a vertebrae. It lies within the neural canal of the vertebrae. So spinal cord, it extends from the medulla of the brain down almost the whole length of the backbone to end at the second lumbar vertebrae up to this. Now, when we see the internal structure of the spinal cord, here the arrangement of white and grey matter is just opposite of the arrangement of white and grey matter in the brain. In spinal cord, grey matter containing cell bodies of motor and association neuron lies on the inner side. So this is grey matter. It consists of cell bodies of motor and association neuron, and grey matter is present on the inner side, and white matter made up of axon running longitudinally to and from the brain, even crossing each other, they are present on the outer side. It is just opposite the arrangement of grey and white matter in the brain. In brain, grey matter is present on the outer side and white matter is present on the inner side. But in spinal cord, grey matter is present on the inner side and white on the outer side. Now, at the center of the spinal cord, one small central canal is present. This is central canal. It runs the entire length and is continuous with the cavities of the brain. Now, this central canal is filled with one fluid called as cerebrospinal fluid, which is present in the brain also. It acts as a shock-proof cushion and forms a medium for the exchange of food material, waste and respiratory gases with neurons. Externally, just like brain, as the spinal cord is the extension of brain, so externally the spinal cord is also protected by three membranous layers known as meninges. The outer one is dura mater, then arachnoid, and the innermost is pia mater. After this, now let's start with the function of spinal cord. Now the function of spinal cord, it serves three main functions. It controls reflexes of our body below the neck. Now the second is, it conducts sensory impulses from the skin and muscles to the brain. Now the third one is, it conducts motor responses from brain to muscles of the trunk and the limbs, that are the effector organs. So this is all about the spinal cord. Next we are going to start with peripheral nervous system.